In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to open, create and save a file in Photoshop. So without much ado, let's get this video started. To open a new file, first you go to File, then you click on it, and since we are opening a file, you click on Open, and then from here you select whichever file you want and then place it on your canvas. So you click on it and then you press Open, and then you see your file opens here. And then now to open another file as a separate document, you come to File and then you repeat the same process. Click on Open and then select whichever file you want. So when I select this file and click Open, you realize it opens as a separate document up here. So when I click here, see the first one I opened is here and the second one I opened is right here. So in order to open your file as a layer, a new layer, just right on this image, what you do is you come to File and then instead of Open, you come down to Place Embedded and then you click on Place Embedded and then you select whichever file you want. So I'll select this file and then now you see it opens as a new layer on the same document. So when I make it smaller, you see it's now a new layer on the document right here. So that's a simple way to open your files. Now there's another way to also open your file, which is to drag and drop. To open the file using drag and drop, just open where the file is located, like example here, and then all you do is you drag the image and drop it onto your Photoshop workspace and you see it opens right here. Okay, so to open another file on top of this one as a new layer, open the file location again and then drag and drop your image on top of it just like you did at first. So you drag and drop it and you see it opens as a new layer in the same document. Yes. Now to open a file as another document, you don't drag and drop it onto the canvas, but instead this is how you do it. You open the file location and then instead of dropping the image on the canvas, you drag it and then make sure you drop it you drag it and then you make sure you drop the image onto this line. Make sure you see plus copy and then you drop it on this line, and then you see it doesn't open as a new layer on this one, but instead it opens as a new document on its own. So that's a simple way to drag and drop your images to open files in Photoshop. So now let's talk about how to create a new file. So to create a new file, you come up here to File and then you click on New, and then after clicking on New, you see you have different preset sizes which you can use. So there are different preset sizes. You have different preset sizes for print like A4, A5 and the rest. You can choose already preset ones. You have art and illustration, poster, postcard. You have different sizes here as well. Even for mobile, you might have different ones depending on which version of Photoshop you are using. I have for iPhone 8, 7, 6, iPhone X, and all sorts of sizes. So for example, let me customize the size I want. So here it's right now 1920 by 1080 pixels. So let me make it 4000 by 2500, and then you have to make sure it's at pixels. But depending on what you are creating, you might want it to be in inches, centimeters. Maybe you are making a poster or you are making a banner or something. You can decide to choose whichever size you want. By computer terms, let's give it at pixels. And then you want to rename your canvas. So I'm going to name mine subscribe. And by the way, please, if you've not subscribed, make sure to subscribe because I post videos just like this every week. So after naming my canvas subscribe, you just come down here, just leave these presets just there. If you don't understand what they do, you can just leave them here like that. And then make sure, as for your color profile, make sure it's at sRGB, make sure it's there. And then your background color should also be white, just as I have here. 8-bit is fine for you for now. Then you just click create, and then after that you see my canvas has been created. This canvas is very big. If it's covering your workspace too much, you can just use the zoom tool here, and then you just zoom it out, and then you can see your canvas size very clearly. So that's a very simple way to create your canvas in Photoshop. So now, how do you save a file? So to save a file, it's very simple. So let's say, for example, we create a new artwork and then we want to save this image. What you do is you come to file, then you come down to save, and then you click on it, and then you see you have two options to either save it on the cloud or to save it on your computer. So here we are going to save it on our computer. So you click on save on your computer, and then you can name it whatever you want. So I'm going to name it AAA. And then when you come down here, you can see you have different formats you can save it in. So you can save it as a Photoshop, PSD, and what this does is when you save it, you still have access to all the layers which you use to create it. So you can change whatever you want later on. And then with what some formats like JPEG and PNG does is that when you save it as those formats, you just get it as a static image and you cannot change anything else in your image. So you no longer have access to your layers anymore. So when you choose whichever format you want, you just click save, and then it's going to save as that format for you. So let me save it as a Photoshop PSD. When I save it as a Photoshop PSD, I just click save, and then now my image is saved onto my Photoshop PSD. So now when we add something else, for example, when I create a new layer and then I paint a different color onto it. So if I paint a new color onto my image and then I want to save it, all I'll do is come to file, and then you click on save, and then you make sure maximize compatibility is checked, and then you click on OK. So just as most other softwares out there, when you click on save, it now adds to the previous saved it now adds to the previous what you saved previously. So when I come down here and then I go to what I just saved, you realize it has now what updated what I saved. So that's a very simple way to save your images in Photoshop. Now, what if you want to save another copy and you don't want it to be added to what you've already saved? So for example, I create a different layer and then I'll come down, maybe choose green, color green, and then I paint onto this image. I want to save it as a different file. You just come to file, and then you come down to save as, and then you come to save on your computer, and then let's say for this one I make it 4As, and then I save it as a Photoshop PSD. Then you come to save, then click on OK, and then now when you come here, you see it has created it has saved as a different thing altogether. So I have that one here, and then I have my old image also here. So that's how you save a different copy in Photoshop. So if you want to save a different copy for, let's say, social media, what you do is you just come to file, and then you come down to save as, and then you come to save on your computer, and then for something like social media you can choose, let's say, JPEG or PNG. So let me choose the PNG format, and then let me make it AAAB or BBB, and then save it, then click on OK. Then now it has been saved. So when I come to my desktop, you see I have the image here, and then now I can post it wherever I want, on social media or wherever. So that's how you save your files in Photoshop. Thank you for watching this video. If you learned something from the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because I post videos just like this every week and you don't want to miss it. Till we meet again, bye.